Hello, Sagittarius. All right, Sagittarius, let's get right into your reading. Happy new moon to each and every one of you. Let's get into it, Sagittarius. Let's set the tone for your reading. Let's set the tone for your reading. Uranus is now station direct. Uranus is the Fool card. So a lot of people left behind a lot of distractions. You closed out a cycle, so you made it to the other side. Yay. So we're not only in the new moon, new year for some people, consider it the new year, right? New moon, new you, new year. Let's set the tone. I trust my intuition. All right, love it. That's right, you trust in that inner voice. Trust in that inner voice. Let's get into it. Let's get right into it. All right, Sagittarius, already prayed over your cards. Let's get it. The general reading, so take only what resonates with you. If you're interested in a personal reading, my information is down below in the description. Let's go. All right. First card out of the deck, Four of Wands. Four of Wands. Someone's in really, really good spirits. Someone's in really, really good spirits. The scales from your eyes have been removed about something. Excuse me. Yeah. Scales from your eyes have been removed from something. So we're going to start with 6-card spread. Yeah, here we have the Four of Wands. Here we have the Seven of Cups. Here we have the 6 of Wands. We have the 8 of Pentacles, 2, 4, 5, and Queen of Swords here. So yeah, you and somebody's spirits are just, very happy. You and somebody are celebrating. Could be you and another fire sign, Aries, Leo, or Sagittarius, are celebrating something. Because now the scales from your eyes have been removed. Meaning that there's certain things you've outgrown. Maybe like jumping to conclusions, or, being around shady people, and just how that can affect, people just in general. And so I feel like you all are back on center stage again, just feeling really good, just kind of sort of in the spotlight. Just being around shady people, you will assume everybody is being shady towards you, right? When sometimes it's not even that, but if you're around shady people all the time, you feel like everybody being shady towards you until you reconnect with certain people who have no clue as to what's going on, until you reconnect and you like, especially if it's someone who may have moved away from something, or you may have moved away from something. See this right here? There's two sides of the snake, right? There's Moses' staff snake, and then there is Garden of Eden snake, right? Good, evil, right? So either way, somebody has outgrown, you've outgrown, somebody else has outgrown, certain types of things, like being around shady people or people who have limited spiritual views. You and somebody has outgrown limited spiritual views. People are back in the saddle again, thinking about spending some time together, possibly, just laughing, joking, talking like, nothing ever happened. Nobody's being shady towards each other. So yeah, you're learning how to really trust your intuition again, back in the saddle again, right? Sitting on your throne, carefully just vetting your thoughts. Sitting on your throne, carefully vetting your thoughts. That's why it's not a good idea to assume that people are being shady towards you, especially if you've moved on from something like a job, or if they moved on from a job or geographical location, or you moved away or whatever. Because again, people are trying to get settled in a new environment, new job, especially if it's a new job. Because I feel like somebody could be in a new space and not jump to, and people just don't jump to conclusions. So you have something coming in fast, some good news coming in fast for you. So continue to keep your vibrations high. Let's see if we can find out what the good news is coming for you, because you have a lot of downloads coming in. Your intuition is telling you something, but you're keeping your vibrations high. All right, let me see if we can get some information for you. So that's something that somebody's going to be, keeping in mind. So if, let's say, for instance, like I said, if you're working a job and your colleague leaves and y'all used to having a lot of good time, fun, laughing, joking, kikiing and all of that. I'm talking to men and women, Sagittarius. You don't assume people are being shady. Don't assume people are being shady, or, You have no control over what they assume, but I feel like you're back in the saddle, you know, like old times, like old times. So maybe it's a good time. Like if you connect with somebody, maybe it's also a good time to, you know, just remind each other how to communicate. Maybe, you know, if you reach out, remember time is relative. So somebody could be reaching out to you soon. Yeah, somebody could be reaching out to you soon, but you definitely want to take the blindfolds off. You definitely want to take the blindfolds off so that you're not confused. So you got you're definitely trusting your intuition. You're definitely trusting your intuition, right? Yeah. So, and learning how to be more conservative with your time, because now something is coming to light. This right here, yeah, something is coming to light. Yeah, something is coming to light about, some information is coming to light, right? From two people trying to restrict someone. Yeah. So there are going to be two people that's still trying to restrict someone, right? Yeah. Still trying to restrict someone. Yeah, because they've already initiated something. Right? They're responsible for trying to restrict someone. Right? And so Source is saying to you, you know, looking at your cards here, you are a hardworking person, and let me see something here. You're on your throne. You have carefully vetted your thoughts. You're a very fair-minded person. You carefully vetted your thoughts. You're a very fair-minded person. Your vibration is very high. Here's a Hangman here. Again, you're trusting your intuition. There's been a lot of conversation going on around something. And so this is 4 and this is 5. You're deciding you're not going backwards. You're not going back to something. Yeah, you're not going back to something. Yeah. Yeah. Yep, you and somebody are not going back to some idea that somebody is kind of like maybe behind, you know, behind, talking about somebody behind, you know, be depressed or got some swords in their back. Like, you're not going back to, because it doesn't produce anything, talking about people behind their back. Yeah. It doesn't produce anything. So something about you is like you're not a shady person, period. You know, somebody is learning how to just let people get settled in. So like, let's say for instance, like I said, let's say you and your colleague were really tight at work, right? And your colleague went to another job. They need time to get settled in, right? They need time to get settled into a new job. So when people say stuff like, oh, well, you don't call me like you used to, the person has to get acclimated with the new environment, the new procedures, you know, new lay of the land, you know, so to speak here. Yeah, so you're learning how to trust your intuition. Yeah, learning how to trust your intuition and breaking that karmic cycle. That's a karmic cycle you're breaking quick. Yeah, if you're breaking that karmic cycle quick, because somebody wants you to revisit something that you're saying, no, you're not revisiting that. You're breaking the karmic cycle real quick. Yeah. You're not even talking about it. You got lots of opportunities coming your way. That's something your spirit is not even... That's what somebody is learning how to consider. It's like, you know, all of this confusion going on. People talking around people, not talking to people. People being shady, having limited spiritual views. For you, you're just like, nah. This is right here. People talking about people behind their back. While people are trying to build and being responsible. People talking... Yeah. Something you just don't even want to be a part of. Yeah, something you don't want to be a part of. Yeah. That's what brought you into the light high priestess. That's what brought you into light high priestess energy. Yep. Yep. But you have some idea of who's behind a lot of things. Yeah. But you have some ideas. Yeah, you have some ideas, but you also have an idea who's behind things, but you're cutting ties. Yep. You're definitely cutting some ties, because now that you have actually, because you're asking motive, like, what is the motive? What's the motive? What is the motive? What is the reason? But then you're going back through your mind, like, what's the reason for all of this? What's the reason? What's the motive for all of that? Right? So you're asking for clarity. Yeah, you're asking for clarity. What's the clarity? What's the reason for the bullying? Yeah, what's the reason for the obsession with leaving people out in the cold? What's the reason for the obsession? What's that? What's that about? Yeah. Because it's basically like it's two energies. It's like it's their way or the highway with the bullying piece, like being very meticulous, and the light has been shining on that. Like, what's the reason for all of this? What's the reason for lying? So now you have a lot of questions. Now you have a whole lot of questions that you may not have had before, but you have a lot of questions now. Yeah, because you're back in the saddle with somebody. So let me give somebody a scenario what I'm talking about, both in your personal and your professional life, Sagittarius. So let's say, for instance, you and somebody, let's see these two people celebrating right here. Let's say you and somebody work together, and y'all used to go to lunch together every single day. Y'all were just real close in the workplace, right? They move on, right? They move on, right? Because now some people are going to have to answer. They're going to have to answer you. They're going to have to answer to you. You're a fire sign. So y'all fire signs. You, Aries, Leo, can be a little fiery, right? So first, it was a bunch of confusion, a lot of conversation. You weren't really sure, you know, but you're a mutable sign. So you could have been going along with the flow a little bit, like, okay, well, I'm not really sure what's going on. Like, okay, let's see where this goes. You and somebody used to go to lunch every day. Excuse me. Probably talk on the phone, whatever. But you got some kind of a message. Because page energy is youthful energy. Youthful energy, right? Doesn't necessarily mean that the person is younger than you, but youthful energy. But it could mean, well, it's messenger energy, but you got some kind of a message, right? That maybe somebody had a limited spiritual view, or like shady or something, or is into some shady stuff or whatever. You got some kind of download or message, or somebody may have told you something or whatever. But they're on a new job. Let's say your person is on a new job, new geographical location, whatever. Move, whatever. But because you see this person right here is across a large body of water. This is water right here, right? Could have gotten some message. But people were being shady towards somebody. Basically, and you see how this person you see all this darkness here, like somebody could be depressed or sad or head hung low, wearing all these dark colors, and something's wrong. And basically implying to some degree that somebody's not doing well. Right, so let's say you get somehow you get some kind of message back that your friend is not doing well in some capacity, right? But your friend is doing fine. They're just trying to get situated in their new place, new job, new whatever. It's not them that's being shady. It's this group of energies that's being shady. Because now you're finding out it's them. These energies lying behind people's backs like this. Lying behind somebody's back. So yeah, now you have questions. Now you have questions of these two energies right here. Now you have questions. Why? Why the obsession with trying to sacrifice somebody? First, you were pulled in two different directions. Like, okay, somebody basically said somebody was delusional. Somebody believed somebody was delusional because of their high priestess gifts. They were imagining things and something was wrong with their spirit. They were taken over by the devil. All of this you were hearing. And so sources say, but that's not what your beliefs are now. So yeah. Yeah, that's not. So that's the beauty of not assuming or jumping to conclusions. That's the beauty of keeping in contact with people. So let's see what your spiritual number is. Let's see what your spiritual number is. Your angel number. Let's see what your angel number is. 208, gratitude everywhere. So challenge yourself to be thankful. So there is always something to be grateful for, no matter how dire the present circumstances may seem. Your angels challenge you to focus on gratitude out loud right now. Recite a list of what you are grateful for today. Nothing is too inconsequential to include, right? So 208, yeah. So yeah, somebody has a lot of familiar spirits around them, but familiar spirits can be very dangerous because, and I say this in all of my readings, because they don't know a full anything. They despise for somebody else. And you now know who's behind it. Yep, you now know who's behind it. Yep. And you now know why, in order for somebody to protect their peace, why they cut them off. So, yeah. So if it was a colleague that you work with, or a loved one, or somebody that you deem as family, in order to get their peace, why they cut people off, it's because the scales have been removed from their eyes. They saw something for them that was just like too combative. Something was just too, it was just way too much friction. So something was disrupting someone's peace, right? So if it was, let's say for instance, it was somebody you work with, Sagittarius, and they just kind of have a calm spirit. Maybe they grew up in a, maybe they grew up in a space where it was just so much chaos and confusion, and you are familiar with it. You are familiar with it because that's what y'all talked about. In order for them to get some peace, they gotta get away from that. So that's what's gonna clear your mind. It's like, okay, you're familiar with something because you're familiar with just, no matter how fiery you get, they're still calm. And that's the energy you've always known of them. So this is the colleague, you've always known them to be that way. So yeah, here we have visualize harmony. So release worry and welcome peace. Be comforted. The fears you have are not supposed to be yours alone to hold. Visualize your angels taking them from you, leaving you with a harmonious peace. Sit in meditation right now and picture a bright light washing over you, evaporating all your fears. Then take a few deep breaths and picture what harmony looks like to you. So visualize harmony. 477. Of course, with the other side of high priestess energy, which is your intuition, which men and women obviously have intuition, is high priest. So the physical part would be the high priest, right? And so that would be you physically talking to someone or physically seeing someone or whatever. When you have familiar spirits, they don't know an energy like you know them. They're just familiar with energies. That is your strong suit. It's like, no, I actually know this energy. You went to lunch with them. This energy, you've been to their house. You've been around, like you know them. Like you've been out with this energy, like this person right here. So that's what put you back in the saddle again. So now you got some serious questions. You got some serious questions as to what in the world is really going on and why are all these people telling these lies. So yeah, as you should. As you should. Because now something you are taking very personal. Because for you, this person you went to lunch with, or somebody that is like family for you, or if it's your colleague or somebody, or a friend that's like family for you, you're like, no, you got some questions now. You and somebody got some questions. So work through your fears. Because what somebody is dealing with is someone who is obsessed with there's a Scorpio involved in something. So It could be a Scorpio that you know, or it could be a Scorpio in your family that is obsessed with something. But the kind of tie it together. Like how would a Scorpio tie into this? I don't know. There may be a question for you. That may be a question because is a Scorpio? Are you related to a Scorpio? Is there somebody? Because that can also connect us with the Judgment card. Somebody that you know could still be judging. Okay, we had to make a little bit more room. I think we got a little bit more space. Yeah, I got a little bit more space. But yeah, somebody could be still judging you, believe it or not. Somebody could be, because Scorpio is a fixed sign, somebody could be still fixated on you still hanging out with somebody, or you still communicating, or you still, you know, it's still some kind of motivation for you to still be connected or see somebody as family in some way, shape, form, or fashion that maybe you and somebody else could have just totally moved on from. So it's a small world. You never know who knows whom, how people get connected, none of those things. But you're going to start trusting your intuition and find out, okay, well, wait a minute. You're going to start putting some things together. Like he would have High Priestess energy here. You're going to start putting some things together. Like, okay, now how do people know people? Like what? You and somebody are going to start asking questions of a Scorpio when they were restricted. In some way, a Scorpio may have been restricted in some way, shape, form, or fashion. But some way you're going to be asking some kind of questions as to, because this is you sitting on the throne, like carefully vetting your thoughts, because something is bringing the High Priestess energy out of you. Like, okay, how is all of this connected? How do people know each other? Like, where's the connection here? What's going on with something? So you getting ready to ask a lot of questions, and you are not, as a fire sign, you ain't gonna stop until you get to the bottom of something. Yeah. So this is happening for me, not to me. Yeah, this is happening for me, not to me. Because some energies are obsessed. Some energies are absolutely obsessed with lying on someone that you have are very, very close with, right? So I feel like you're planning a vacation. You all love to travel anyway, and I feel like you will be traveling somewhere. Somebody's obsessed with lying about people traveling and what they do, possibly like what they do for work, and them traveling. Somebody's obsessed, because I'm looking at 8 of Pentacles here. Yeah, I'm seeing this right here. So I feel like if it's somebody that you're very close with, if it's somebody that you're very, very close with, that you should be able to ask very direct questions about what goes on with them behind closed doors, like in how they make money. I feel like you should be able to ask very, very questions. If you want clear answers, I feel like they would be completely honest with you. Yeah. Yeah. I feel like somebody could be in some kind of a karmic relationship. There could be, because I'm seeing this card for Scorpio come up. You could be in a karmic relationship with a Scorpio that is maybe holding something against you. I don't know if you work with this person that feels like you just never, listen, you never know looking at these cards here. If it's somebody that you work with, Sagittarius, somebody could have felt like, because fixed signs are like one kind of want you to be kind of sort of pick a side kind of thing, be on one side or the other. They don't want you to be, you know, depending on, it's almost like when your spirit needs to be on one side or the other, almost like loyalty, right? So if it's somebody that's like, family to you, let's say for instance it's somebody you work with, and it was three of you all who used to go to lunch together. See, it's just got two people right here on this card right here, but let's say it was three of you all who went to lunch together, or hung out, or whatever the case may be, and somehow those two got into it. Something happened with those two. They're not friends anymore. They don't, you know, they're not friends anymore. But you get along. You still get along with both. Like you still cordial with everybody, right? This one right here may say there's no being cordial. You're gonna have to pick. You're gonna have to choose, right? So that's a conversation. That's a conversation, because that's a karmic cycle. And so for you as a fire sign, you may be saying, you know, a fire, you may, well, I don't know what you may say as a fire sign, but your intuition is kicking in. Your intuition is telling you a lot of things about who is really being shady, who really has limited spiritual views, who would do something, you know, like would align with anything that would try to restrict somebody or hurt somebody, or do something to, you know, be like obsessing over hurting somebody in some way, shape, form, or fashion. Just based on some things you may have heard or said or seen by this spirit in some way, shape, form, or fashion. But that's a conversation, because I feel like somebody lied on somebody. Somebody definitely told some lies on somebody. So, yeah. Something has been an emotional roller coaster. Something has been an emotional roller coaster for somebody who has been bullied. Something has been an emotional roller coaster for someone who has been bullied. And actually it's for two people. Especially for one person who just like works very hard and they've been kept out in the cold about everything. It's just been an emotional roller coaster for somebody. One has just been it's two of them. One has been an emotional roller coaster for somebody. But one has just been very conservative with their time, you know, being very conservative with their time. But everything is coming to light. Everything is coming to light. So humility. Allow me, divine, to always accept the right assistance. I welcome help. I welcome your help in every way, and I delight in receiving it. Yeah. Yeah. So like I said, there's a lot of conversation going on around people, but people are not talking directly to people about whatever is going on. And maybe if that would clear up a lot of things. That would clear up a whole lot of things if conversations was going on directly with people and not around people, you know. So, but if you feel like you need to make a decision, if somebody is kind of like holding your feet to the fire, make a decision, you're going to have to cut somebody off. Because what is the card? Yeah. If you have to cut somebody off, I don't think the decision is going to be that difficult for you to make, to have to cut. I think it would be more offensive, because I feel like if you have a somebody, like let's say you work with somebody who's like three people or whatever, you, two friends, and this person is basically giving you an ultimatum. It's either them or you. I think that as a fire sign may make you upset, if anything else. So I don't know how you're going to handle it. I think you're just going to pray about it. You're going to trust your intuition. But something is definitely bringing you into the light. That's what I have for you. Hopefully this has been helpful to somebody. All right. Bye.